You fight for your members every single day. You negotiate wages. You protect benefits. You hold employers accountable at the bargaining table. And when the contract is signed, you've delivered everything the table had to give. But here is something most union members don't know, and most employers haven't addressed. The majority of your members are legally overpaying in taxes, every paycheck. Not because anyone did anything wrong, simply because no one has shown their employer a structure that fixes it. That structure exists. It is written directly into the International Revenue Code. It does not require reopening your collective bargaining agreement. It does not displace a single existing benefit. And it puts real, measurable money back in your members' pockets, starting with the very first enrolled paycheck. Elevate EBS is here to bring it to your membership. And we want to have an honest conversation about what that means for your union, too, including a payment structure we've built specifically around how unions are organized. Let's get into it. Let's be specific about the problem, because it's worth understanding clearly. Most of your members pay FICA taxes, Social Security and Medicare, plus federal and state income taxes on their full gross wage. Every dollar earned, taxed before they see a cent. But Internal Revenue Code Section 125 authorizes a structure where a portion of that gross wage is processed pre-tax. When that happens, the taxable wage base drops. FICA isn't calculated on the full amount, neither is income tax. The member pays less in taxes on the same wage and takes home more money. This is not a loophole. Congress wrote it into the tax code intentionally. Under IRC Section 3121A, those pre-tax amounts are explicitly excluded from FICA taxable wages. Your members are legally entitled to this treatment. Most just aren't receiving it because their employer hasn't set up the structure. The Elevate EBS Preventive Care Management Program fixes that. A $1,198 monthly pre-tax deduction is enrolled on the member's paycheck and reimbursed to them in full on the same check. The deduction lowers their taxable income. The tax savings it generates fund the program fee. Your members keep the rest. On average, enrolled employees see a net take-home increase of around $180 per month. That's not a raise your union had to negotiate. It's money that was already theirs, finally staying with them. Now, here is where this becomes unlike anything else you have been offered. When you introduce Elevate EBS to an employer, you do not just open the door for your members, you open it for the entire workforce. Think about a company where 200 of your members work, but that company has 500 total employees. When that employer enrolls, every qualifying employee can participate, and your union earns a per enrolled employee contribution on all of them, not just your 200 members, all 500. You introduce the employer, you earn on the whole company. Look at the math on one employer. 200 union members at $15 per month, that is $3,000 a month. 300 non-member employees at $10 per month, another $3,000 a month. One employer introduction, $6,000 a month, $72,000 a year. And that number scales with every employer in your agreements. 5 employers, $360,000 a year. 10 employers, $720,000 a year. 20 employers, $1,440,000 a year. From introductions you are already positioned to make. This is the multiplier. Your members get you in the door. The whole company makes it worth your while. Before we go further, let's address the question every union representative will have the moment this conversation starts. Does this reopen the collective bargaining agreement? No. The PCMP is introduced separately from collective bargaining. No contract modification is required. Does it displace any existing benefit? No. It adds to what members already have. Nothing is removed. Nothing is traded. Does the employer gain any concession in exchange for participating? No. The employer participates because it saves them money. $41.65 per enrolled employee per month in net FICA savings after our fee. That benefit flows from the tax structure, not from any give back by your members. Is this IRS authorized? Yes, IRC Section 125 and Section 3121A explicitly authorize this structure. It is the intended mechanism, not a gray area. And your role in all of this is exactly what it should be for a union, the introduction. You bring Elevate EBS to the employers in your agreements, however that conversation happens naturally, at a labor management meeting, through your business agents, in a conversation with HR. We provide everything you need to make that introduction confidently. From there, Elevate EBS handles the employer presentation, the payroll setup, the employee enrollment, the benefit access, and all ongoing support. You do not administer anything. You do not manage enrollments. You do not answer benefit questions. Your role ends at the introduction, and the contributions begin. Now let's talk about how the per employee contribution flows to your union and why we've built four different structures so you can choose what works for your organization. Your union is organized as a 501c5. That means contributions directly to your union are generally not tax deductible for us as charitable donations. That matters, both for compliance and for how much we can put in your hands. The cleaner the structure, the more we can offer. Here is how it breaks down. Option 1. Existing 501c3 affiliated foundation. Many large unions, the Teamsters, SEIU, AFSCME, AFL-CIO affiliates, and others, have established separate 501c3 charitable foundations, scholarship funds, member assistance programs, education initiatives. These are legally distinct entities with their own EIN and their own board. If your union has an affiliated 501c3 at the local, regional, or national level, Elevate EBS makes a true charitable donation to that foundation for every enrolled employee. The donation is fully tax deductible for us. The foundation uses it for your members however it is designated. Under this structure, the per enrolled employee contribution is $15 per month for each enrolled union member, $10 per month for each enrolled non-member employee at the same company. At a company with 200 union members and 300 other employees, all enrolled, that is $6,000 per month, $72,000 per year, from one employer introduction. Option 2. Establish a new 501c3 foundation. If your union doesn't currently have an affiliated 501c3, forming one is more straightforward than most unions expect. A separate legal entity, its own board, its own EIN, organized for member benefit, scholarship programs, financial literacy education, emergency hardship assistance. Elevate EBS will support you through the formation process. We will cover the formation costs, filing fees, and legal setup as part of the partnership. Once your foundation is recognized by the IRS, the same contribution rates as option 1 apply immediately. $15 per month per enrolled union member, $10 per month per enrolled non-member employee. This option creates a permanent organizational asset for your union, a foundation you can build on and fund through this program and others. Beyond Elevate EBS, your union now has a vehicle for receiving tax-deductible charitable contributions from any source. Option 3. Donor Advised Fund. A donor advised fund, a DAF, is a charitable giving vehicle held by a sponsoring 501c3 organization. Elevate EBS contributes to the DAF, receives an immediate tax deduction, and recommends grants from the fund directed toward your members' benefit, education, emergency relief, community support programs. This option works well if your union wants per member contributions directed toward specific charitable purposes without the time required to establish a new foundation. There is a modest administrative layer involved, which is reflected in the rate. $13 per month per enrolled union member, $8 per month per enrolled non-member employee. Option 4. Marketing Services Agreement. If none of the foundation pathways fit your situation, Elevate EBS structures the relationship as a marketing services agreement. Your union provides a legitimate, defined business service, introducing the program to employers in your agreements and facilitating awareness among your membership. Elevate EBS pays a program introduction fee for those services. This fee is a business expense for Elevate EBS, deductible under IRC Section 162. It is income to your union, directed however your leadership chooses. Because this structure carries more compliance scrutiny around fee reasonableness, the rate is more conservative. $10 per month per enrolled union member, $6 per month per enrolled non member employee. Still meaningful at scale, but the message is clear. The 501c3 path puts significantly more in your hands. The difference in plain numbers. At a company with 200 union members and 300 other employees fully enrolled, structure, monthly, annual options. 1 and 2 to 501c3, $6,000, $72,000. Option 3, DAF, $5,000, $60,000. Option 4, marketing agreement, $3,800, $45,600. The difference between option 1 and option 4 from a single employer is $26,400 per year. Across 10 employers, that's $264,000 per year in additional resources for your union simply by choosing the right structure. We are not attached to any one path. We are committed to getting it right. And if you have a structure or an idea we haven't considered, we want to hear it. Let's bring it together. You represent workers who are legally overpaying in taxes and underserved on benefits, not because of anything you failed to do, but because no one has introduced their employers to a structure that fixes it. Elevate EBS fixes it. Your members take home more money. They gain healthcare access they didn't have. Their families are covered. And your union earns a per employee contribution structured around your organization, calibrated to your situation for every employee enrolled at every company you introduce, members and non members alike, for as long as they stay enrolled. This is not a vendor relationship. It is a partnership built on the same principle your union has always stood on, making sure workers get what they've legally earned. We want to sit down with your leadership, understand your structure, walk through the numbers specific to your employers, and find the path from the four we've outlined, or one we build together, that maximizes what flows back to your organization. The door is open. We'd like to walk through it together. Reach out to us at partnerships@elevateebs.com to start the conversation. Elevate EBS, Union Partnership Program, partnerships@elevateebs.com, elevates.com.